Well, that's right, Anand. I'm in Kurukshetra, and this is the place where Chief Minister of Haryana has his residence. Remember, he was the member of parliament from this Lok Sabha seat itself, and Naib Singh Saini was in Chandigarh yesterday. He came to Kurukshetra late night, and as we reached here, we went to his residence, and we got to know that he left his residence at around 5:30 early in the morning to visit the temple, and throughout the day he will be traveling around. And 2 days back, when I spoke to Naib Singh Saini, he was very confident about the results. In fact, he was saying that the exit polls, the results which exit polls are showing will be proven wrong on the day of counting. In fact, I've been speaking to a few BJP leaders in last 2 days after the exit polls. They are saying that exit polls have gotten wrong even in the past. In fact, some of them had told me that even during the Lok Sabha polls time, when exit polls came, they were projecting BJP's full majority, and still they got 240. So some of the BJP leaders were even saying that. But as far as, of course, as you were also discussing, that what BJP has realized in the results of 2024 Lok Sabha polls is that Dalit votes which got damaged and which went away to the Congress party in those polls. So therefore, they have, of course, had their strategies that how they would gonna get those votes back to their fold. And of course, as in last 6 months, ever since Naib Singh Saini has taken over, there are a few decisions which he has taken, which of course includes providing MSP on 24 crops and increasing the creamy layer for the OBC's reservation from 6 to 8 lakhs, and the jobs
Right.
which he provided. So though essentially he had 56 days to work because other time there was a model code of conduct. So the people who are praising Naib Singh Saini, that they are saying that in last 6 months he had done good job, and perhaps that will sail them through.
Well, will it do that? We'll have to see. Most importantly, if it is a two-horse race, then can BJP buck the anti-incumbency? Can they retain a bulk of their Lok Sabha vote share to try and convert into seat conversions? Because the Congress, on the face of it, doesn't seem to require a higher vote share for seat conversions, and it's already holding on fort from the Lok Sabha as the projection Zaka was showing. But Yash Goyal, you're outside Kumari Shelja's residence. That belt, the Dalit belt, and where she has a sway of over 9 or 12 seats. How critical is that? And how important is Ashok Tanwar on the last day? In fact, it should be embarrassing for the BJP there that within 1 hour of him being there sharing the spotlight with the Prime Minister, he was seen on stage with Rahul Gandhi and he had defected. And this was in the nth hour. How much of a difference is that going to make?
Absolutely, Narayan. And in fact, the same thing has been said by the Chief Minister of Haryana himself, that you can see his statements just 1 hour before when he joined the Congress party, and you can see how he's speaking right now. So BJP is very clear that he being shifting his allegiance from the BJP to the Congress is not going to do anything. This is what the BJP has to say, but things are very different on the ground. In fact, to give you a quick update about Kumari Shelja, we are right outside Kumari Shelja's residence here in the national capital. In fact, I can tell you that some preparations are being done outside her residence. In fact, you can see this tent being put up because today there will be two people on whom all eyes will be. First will be Mr. Hooda, and then will be Kumari Shelja. In fact, yesterday we tried speaking to her, and she made it very clear that around 11 to 12 is when she will be speaking to the media, and then only she'll be putting out her very first statement on what will be the way ahead for the Congress party when it's come to the choosing of the Chief Minister. But in fact, she is someone who has made it clear that she is one of the contenders of the Chief Ministerial post. But what transpires today is yet to be seen, because the
Right.
kind of exit polls which we have seen, that shows a clear majority for the Congress party. And in fact, Kumari Shelja is also someone who is very candid when she speaks to media, and she leaves no stone unturned to speak out her mind. And today also we are expecting her to speak in a while, or perhaps around 11
Well, I
a.m.
think she is.
when
She has
will be
spoken.
speaking to the media. And in fact,
She has spoken to News 18, and we will try and play that out in a bit, Yash. But thanks for that. But bringing this story back, can we just go back to the mega poll of polls of Haryana, and then we'll bring it into the studio to understand? Has any of the pollster actually looked at it, Zaka and Rahul? Has any of the pollster come out and said that it could be a 3-horse race? Now there are two who are giving the others about 15 to 17 seats and 10 to 15 seats. There are two pollsters who are giving others about 15 seats. Now what does that mean? Does that mean that the INLD and Aam Aadmi Party then get into the mix along with some of the independents? You see Dainik Bhaskar, and there is C Voter, and People's Pulse also has given 16. So 3 of them have given them at least 15 seats to others. Now what does that mean? Does that then become a 3-horse race?
But if they're giving
and if it's a
15
3-horse
seats,
race,
yeah.
does that then help the BJP's cause?
But Anand, if they're giving those many seats, that means there'll be a substantial vote share. I don't see how the Congress then gets up to those figures.
60.
I mean, then it'll be a hung house scenario.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
think, if you're looking at 15 to 17, and mind you, this is not JJP. They are then saying it's either AAP or INLD or independents, maybe rebels. There would be a whole bunch of rebels on either side. But if there are going to be anywhere between, let's say, 10 to 15, or one of the polls saying 15 to 17, one poll saying 16, then you won't have this kind of a runaway victory. You won't get a 50 plus for one of the two major parties. But I'm interested in one thing. This whole question of who will become chief minister, does that also change with the nature of the victory? Let's say if Congress gets 60 plus, then does that mean that it's Mr. Huda who's automatically the choice? And if it's a more tentative victory, a 45 to 55 kind of a victory, is his place as chief minister not so much of a sure shot? Pallavi and then Aman?
I think it's, I think the Gandhis particularly have already made up their mind that in Haryana at least, the Hoodas are going to get the lion's share. I mean, for example, Kumari Shelja being removed as a PCC chief and Bhupinder Huda's person being made the PCC chief, I think was the first big indication that this election is going to be about the Hoodas. And very quickly, Zaka, I remember there is this, there is this whole PR agency which has been hired, that Sunil Konagalu agency. There was a lot of grief which many within the party felt about the fact that the first few ad campaigns were only in and around the Hoodas. I mean, pictures of Dipinder Hooda sitting in the khet and having food with women. That did not go down well with this Kumari Shelja camp, and they had objected to it. And that's why they met the Gandhis and said that, the campaign only makes it look all about the Hoodas. Unka monopoly nahi ho sakta. But having said that, 80% of the candidates almost are chosen by the Hoodas. I mean, what more do you want? And look at the line which Bhupinder Hooda says, MLAs decide karenge. So when those 3 observers go after the results are out, and should the Congress get that win, obviously the most of the MLAs are going to be most probably from the Bhupinder Hooda camp, and obviously they're going to say this, that we want him as the CM. So, I think it's almost given. I think what is going to be important is, what is it that she's going to get? Her choice as a deputy CM, if there's a deputy CM, will her people get the important portfolios, and
will
what
she
next
work
for
under
her?
Because I'm not sure if that is
So that's what
something
I'm
that
saying.
will be acceptable to
She
her.
not as a deputy CM, but maybe her person as a deputy CM, in case there is one.
But Aman, the other thing is, as you weigh in on Bhupinder Hooda and the Congress, the fact is what happens to the JJP and INLD. Then they get routed if they're done.
Well, Anand, this election in Haryana, I feel, is strongly about Jat politics. It is the Jats in the state who said, okay, 10 years there's been a non-Jat chief minister. We've had enough. We want a Jat chief minister. And that is why I think Bhupinder Hooda is in the mix of things. Even in the last elections, if you remember, Bhupinder Singh Hooda was given the charge of the election just about a month before the election. The criticism was Congress delayed it a lot. Still, the Congress could win 31 seats, and Mr. Hooda has always been saying it was because of me that we got 31 seats. If we had been given the charge earlier, I would have won the state. Congress did the course correction, gave Mr. Hooda a charge very early this time. The results were there in the Lok Sabha elections. 5 out of the 10 seats were won by the Congress. It is very clear. I think if Congress wins 50, 45, 60, Mr. Hooda is going to be the chief minister. There is no doubt about it. And this is in sharp contrast to what is happening in the BJP camp. Manohar Lal Khattar, chief minister of almost 9 years, but heavy anti-incumbency, and BJP, I think, delayed it a lot in removing Mr. Khattar. It should have done it at least a year before the election. They did that earlier in other states like Gujarat and Karnataka, and other states where in Gujarat at least they won, and Uttarakhand as well. And I think Haryana BJP delayed removing Mr. Khattar a lot. They brought in Nayab Singh Saini, but Mr. Nayab Singh Saini couldn't do much in 6 months. He couldn't even fight in a seat that he wanted to fight from. He had to shift his seat to Ladwa. So clearly, I think BJP also, there was a lot of infighting.